Hey guys, what's up? I'm April and welcome back to my channel. So today I decided I was going to do a story time video of some of the paranormal or unexplained things that have happened to me during my life, okay? So I quickly I've got a top 5, okay? I've got a top 5 things that just were on the top of my head that I want to talk about today. So let me see if I can remember them all for you guys. So one of the first things I want to talk about is a dream that I had once, and this happened like 10 years ago, and I was living in West Hollywood, California, and on the Sunset Strip right there, and I lived in this place for over a year. It was a very safe apartment building. Never thought anything about burglaries or anyone breaking into the place, because it was literally just so close to the Sunset Strip that it was only like a couple buildings in, and it just was high traffic area. Even at night there was just so many people walking along on Sunset that I just felt like there was a lot of action no matter what time you were there, and so I just felt safe. You know, it was just like a really busy place and a good neighborhood. And so one night I have this dream, and I wake up and it scared me, and it woke me up, and I dreamed that my apartment got broken into, and that's all I really remember was that oh, what a scary dream. I dreamed the place got broken into. Oh gosh, that was like a gross dream. That's scary. Oh, I didn't like that. So then I went to work that day, and I was actually filming on it. I was working on a TV show that day, and so while I was getting my makeup done and whatever, actually when I first arrived I talked to the second AD who was on set, and I told him about, I just couldn't, I had this, it's like, how you been doing, whatever. I'm like, oh, I'm okay, but I had this creepy dream last night that my place got broken, my apartment got broken into. And he's like, oh, that's weird. I'm like, yeah, it was just like it was just really freaky. It scared me to death. Like, I don't remember the details. I just remember that it was just really scary, and ugh, that was weird. It was freaky weird, right? He's like, huh, okay, yeah. And we didn't think anything of it. I went inside, got my hair and makeup done. I told those people that were doing my hair and makeup, told them the story too, because early in the morning, whatever, we're just like chatting, like what's going on. And it was such a freaky, scary dream that I guess I just felt like sharing it with people that I was like hanging out with, whatever. So I filmed the show, whatever, filmed my part in the show, and I get home at it's still daylight, so it's maybe like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I get home to my apartment and walk up the stairs, park underneath, whatever. I walk up the stairs, and my door has been kicked in. Like, not completely kicked into the front door, but it was like a gate. It was an old building, and the door frame was like off the hinge. The door was like pushed in. Like, no one actually physically got inside the place, but there was the door was pushed in, and the frame of the door was actually this isn't making sense, but it's a wood frame, and it was like all splintered and pushed in, and someone had broken into the place or tried to break into the place, but didn't. Most likely had to run away because someone heard them or something, because they didn't actually enter the place all the way. They just could have, had you just pressed the rest of the door, and it would have been able to open, So they just basically kicked the door through, or tried to kick the door in, to get inside. So it was just like the weirdest thing ever. I'd never been broken into before. I never had a dream about being broken into before. And it was verifiable because I went and I told, running my mouth, told people, what my dream was. I told my boyfriend at the time, and then I told the people that I was working with my very vivid dream. And then that night, that happened. So then I had to call the police and file a police report and all that kind of stuff, and have someone, the landlord, come fix the door, whatever. This has been a long time ago, but this was like a really good example of a psychic dream, that came true, that immediately came true. So it was just knowing that happened to me, then it basically just answered the question of, can psychic phenomena happen? Like, can people be psychic? Yeah, 100%. Some of us are only psychic maybe like in our dreams, or, I'm sure we're more psychic than we understand because we just pick up on energies of people and whatnot. And I have other stories of like picking up on energies of places that I've been at. But that was the one dream that I wanted to share. There was another dream that I wanted to share where I had this dream. Again, this is a lot of years ago. This is actually before I started acting. And I had this dream, but not before I started acting, but before I actually like booked anything in LA. So I had a dream that I played this, a really good dream, wake up, and I was just like, oh, what am I about this dream? I dreamed that I played a supermodel on a TV show. And at the time, this is before I even started modeling too, and I'm a 5'7", and back then, like you really, like 5'7", you weren't able to do much modeling. It's not like the Instagram world of today where you could be 5 foot tall and like be a successful, whatever, model, super popular. Back then, people really like stuck up, agencies were really stuck up, and you could only even go to an open call to see them if you were like, 5'9". It was just a different time. It was a completely different time. And so I remember having this dream that, I played a supermodel in a TV show. So it was kind of like a double whammy. Like, I'm like, well, number one, I'm going to book a TV show. And number two, it was like, oh gosh, it's not like I would ever play a supermodel because I'm way too short and they would never cast me in that, never, ever, ever. And so that was my like happy but lousy dream because it made me feel bad afterwards, But then cut to, I don't know, 3 months, within 6 months after that dream, I have randomly booked this show, and I'm like playing a supermodel. They flew me to Miami. I'm down there shooting the show, and I never really connected that dream with like when I was actually there, until I had finished shooting my part. I was heading back to my hotel. It was on South Beach, whatever, I don't know the street, but it was there. And all these people were walking. I was walking back to my hotel, and because we were filming at a hotel like right next to where they had put me up and where I was staying. And as I was walking to the hotel, time seemed to slow down, like a deja vu experience, basically. But where I looked at a couple of kids, little boys, whatever, that were walking down the sidewalk, and it's like I knew that they were going to like step off the sidewalk or however they were walking. It's like I knew that was going to happen, and it, like, for me, it felt like it was like, how do I explain this? Something I've never experienced before, like time slowed down, and it was like, ooh, like kind of like a rewinded kind of experience, like where, I don't know why I'm doing this, because I remember I was walking this way down the sidewalk when it happened. Like, I remember exactly what happened, and the way it felt was so weird. And it wasn't just like a normal deja vu experience where you're kind of like, oh, okay, I feel like I've done this before, it's creepy, whatever. It was like time changed. I don't know how to explain it, but that happened. And at that time I was like, oh my God, I've done this before. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And then I was like, it was my dream. I played, remember, and I played the supermodel and the thing in my dream. And it was like, oh my gosh, I dreamed this before. And when I was going through it, like, honest to God, I'm not making this up. It's like a stupid thing to make up because it's like very random. But I experienced that like super, super, super intense deja vu moment where time did something weird, and time was happening, but it was as if a part of me already knew what was going to happen anyhow. So it's like that's weird, you know? Some kind of a glitch in like, I don't know, in reality where, you know, if we can have dreams where we know what our future is going to be like, or what a possible future timeline is going to be for us, if we can have dreams like that, then, you know, we may be having them all the time and we're not aware of them, or we just don't remember them. And why do we know what's going on? And what is that deja vu experience telling us, you know? Kind of like about reality, you know? But anyway, so not to get too heavy into, you know, simulation theory or anything like that, but I just wanted to say those two things. So those are my two dreams. All right, so another thing I wanted to share was 2 times when I had like been in places and had like a feeling that that sensed some kind of energy basically in the place, and then that was verified by like an outside person to be true. So I guess it's kind of a strange, I didn't explain it, but let me just tell you what happened. Okay, so one time I was in San Francisco doing a photo shoot, and I had flown in that morning from LA to wherever I was at. I don't even know where I was. Somewhere on the water in a hotel. And we had done a photo shoot all day long, and then it was in the early afternoon. No, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was like late morning. I don't know. I'd like arrived at like 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning, something like that. We've been going all day, and so maybe it was like early afternoon that we went into another location in this old hotel, and it was a bungalow. That's what they called it. But anyway, it was like a very old building, and we like went up little narrow stairs, I think. I don't know. We just went into this double level hotel like rooms or whatever that were decorated like old fashioned. It was like an outside porch area in the water. It was like a veranda or something like that, but everything was like old, super old hotel. So I walk into this area that we're waiting for like the photographer and like whatever, just everyone to kind of come inside there and to get started with this particular look or whatever. And someone in the crew was there with me. I don't know if it's someone who was like a photography assistant or whatever was there. So I remember walking into this area that was actually open to the outside, open to the water. So it was kind of like a porch thing, whatever. But so it should have felt like breezy and like because it was open to the world, it should have felt like the outside. It should have felt like, I don't know, like fresh or something. But as I walked inside of that area, like the porched in area, I stopped and I was immediately like, whoa, there's something wrong. And I was like, do you feel that? And I was like, oh my gosh, the air feels like stagnant. The air felt like so thick and weird and still and like yucky. You did not feel fresh. It was like, how is this? And I'm like, it's open to the outside. Like, how does this air feel so thick? It felt thick and unlike anything I'd experienced before. And that's why I was like, thought it was very, very strange, you know? So I'd say that to the guy that was there, and I'm just, this place seems so freaking, this is weird. This is like, I wonder if this is like a haunted place or something, because this feels so crazy different than anything I'm used to feeling, you know? And I was confused. All right, so my other camera overheated, so I'm just gonna start filming it here on my iPhone. Hopefully that works out. So anyway, I just want to finish this story. Okay, so yeah, so we walk in there. I say that the room feels stagnant, dead. Like, more if this place is haunted. This feels so weird, so strange. At that time, a whole bunch of a big black fly, basically. A big black fly comes into, like, flies past me. Then another one, and it's a whole bunch, because it became like this swarm of black flies. And it wasn't like 100 flies, but it was probably like 15 flies, like quite a few flies. And they kept circling. These big black flies kept circling in this area, very, like right in front of me, in the area where I said I thought the place felt like it was haunted. So these like random flies, people were like, where are these? And then someone comes in and was like, where are these flies coming from? What's going on with the flies? And everyone's like, oh, I don't know. This is weird. And of course, I'm just like, oh no, like flies are like attracted to ghosts, or so I had heard, I think, before. And of course, it was making sense to that, the feeling that I had, where I was just like, this place feels like it's haunted. And but it was open to the outdoors, so it was freaky weird that these flies were just circling in this particular area. But they were, and there was a bunch of flies. So then shortly after that, they were ready to shoot. So we walked into a bedroom. This was just like a parlor kind of outdoor space, I guess. I say parlor, but because I think there was a couch in there too. I don't know. But anyway, so walked into the bedroom. We started getting dressed and shooting in the actual bedroom. And at that time, the flies moved their way into the bedroom. And then while I was in there shooting, they were like, where are these flies coming from? And they were like, well, they were out there, and then they moved in here. And there wasn't as many in that room, but still quite a few, and it was weird. And they were shooting in there, and they thought the flies were like annoying to be in the room while they were shooting, So at the end of the night, I am waiting for my taxi that's going to take me to the airport. And I'm sitting down there, and it was like a small place, and I go to the concierge, and then I'm like, they're gonna think I'm nuts, but I was like, hey, excuse me, has it ever been reported that your hotel's haunted or anything like that? And then the woman paused for a second, and then she was like, were you part of the photo shoot today? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, where were you? Oh, and she's like, you guys were in the bungalow, huh? Or something, like bungalow something other. It had a name or whatever, I don't know, or number or something. She knew which one I was at. And I said, yeah, okay, I guess. And she goes, let me show you something. And then she pulled out of her drawer, this is fuzzy. She either pulled out of the drawer or she showed me on a computer screen their website, where they rent out that room, that double layered suite for Halloween, like a haunted package, or a haunted Halloween package. I don't know what it was, but they rent the thing on their website as a haunted place. And I'm sure it's still up for rent right now. So basically it comes, as she told me, she's like, it comes with a Ouija board. It comes with, I think 2 horror DVDs or something like that. As part, or maybe more, I don't know, but as part of the package. So it was definitely, they said there's been numerous sightings of ghosts there, and it was a woman and her small son. I think that's what, or small child of some sort. I don't know why I'm coughing. I don't know where that come from. But anyway, completely telling the truth on the story. Crazy. So now I've got that that thing that happened with the sensing that the place was haunted. So another time that I want to tell about was also another photo shoot. I don't know why. I have no idea why stuff's happening, photo shoots and this. These are my stories, but but these are just the ones that popped into my head. So this one was out in Palm Springs, California, and I was shooting a fitness product, whatever it was, fitness company, and we were in this national park, this super old Palm Canyon Park or something like that. And so we show up there, and we're in, we stayed at a hotel the night the night before, whatever, and we got ready in the morning in the hotel. The makeup and stuff was there, and then we all got we drove our cars to the park, but then there was a huge RV like trailer thing that had all the makeup and stuff in it, and that was like the home base camp. And so we all were standing in our cars, and it was like 6 in the morning or something like that. It was super early, and we had already been up since, you know, and had our hair and makeup done, so I don't even know what time it was, but it was super early, and we'd already been up like a really, really long time anyway. Like, we already been up like 2 hours, you know, and then it was like maybe 7 a.m. or something. We were on the location trying to get like the sunrise or whatever it was. So it was still kind of dark out, and the sun hadn't rose like completely. And we were standing in our cars waiting for them to like lift the trailer up, like with the air or whatever, like if the trailer had to be lifted, and they had to put like blocks underneath the tires or whatever they do to level it out. So that was happening. So we're all just kind of standing there, and as I turned kind of toward the mountain, like it's all surrounded in mountains, but there was a big mountain there in front, and all of a sudden, without thinking, I was just like, oh my gosh, do you feel that? And the makeup artists and the models and stuff, they were like, what? And I'm like, you feel that mountain? Oh my gosh, do you feel that? And they were like, thought I was crazy. And then I stopped myself because I thought, oh my gosh, I sound like insane. Like, what am I saying? And I was like, and I closed my eyes, and I'm like, if you close your eyes, like, don't you feel that mountain? Can you feel that? And I was like saying that. And so the people thought I was like, you know, clearly like psychotic, which would be normal for a model like in LA, but I was a psychotic. I was like, don't you feel that mountain? Can't you feel it? Like, if you close your eyes, don't you just feel like you can touch the mountain? Don't you feel like the presence of the mountain there? And of course everyone was like, no, what are you talking about? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, never mind. Just feel the mountain. You don't feel like the mountain's like giving off like radiating like energy? You don't feel that? You don't feel like energy? Like, you close your eyes and it, like, you feel the energy of the mountain? And I've never experienced anything like that before, and of course I've never ever like spoke up about something like that before, but the reason I probably did it is because it's really early in the morning, and I wasn't really thinking, you know, I was probably kind of stuck in that the in-between kind of thing where, you know, you're just like not quite awake to the point where you're probably have, you know, you still have like your filters down maybe, you know what I mean? So whatever. That was, I felt the energy of the mountain. Okay, so then cut to like 2 hours later or more, I don't know, we're shooting. The guys are shooting. Here comes the park ranger that works at the park, and he starts talking to us, and then says to the photographer, they can't go back. Tell those, you guys can't stand behind this particular rock. Like, you're not allowed to enter into the that area. You can stand on the rock. He was like, it's okay, you can stand on that rock, because that's what they're shooting, on a rock. These like muscle guys, it's like super fitness guys. He's like, you can stand on the rock, but you can't go behind the rock or get in any of the anywhere near this particular whatever in that mountain area. And so we're like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, it's not allowed. And then so he's like, oh, okay, well, we won't go back. And the photographer's like, are you sure? Because I really want the person to stand back there. Please, we won't step on anything. You know, we're not going to like mix up like the plants or natural plants or whatever. He's like, we'll be really, really careful. And the park ranger said, no, it's not because of the plants. It's because of the Indian elders of the tribe, the Indian tribe. They think that that's a sacred mountain. They think that's a sacred, like, part of the mountain or whatever. There's mountains everywhere, but like that particular area is a sacred mountain. And all of a sudden, everyone kind of was like intrigued, like, what is he saying? And then he goes, yeah, the shamans of the Indian tribe, it's a very sacred, like, holy thing. They still do it to this day, where they go in there with these little stones or whatever, and you can go in there and see drill holes into the rock, where they would sit there for like days, like drilling. They felt like they were pulling the energy or like extracting the energy out of the mountain, and that they would use that to like heal people. So at that point, the makeup artist and everyone, models and everyone turned to me and was like, oh my gosh, that's what she said. That's what she said earlier. And then the park ranger was like, what? He had no idea. And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. I'm like, yeah. I just, and I was like, and everyone all of a sudden was like, psycho me, and was like, I wasn't so psycho anymore, because they were like, oh my gosh, that's what she said. And they said, what are you talking about? I'm like, he's like, you didn't know. And he goes, you couldn't have known that, because we don't publicize that, because we don't want people to know, and because in that area, which I don't know if I should even say, but he said that they have found like super old, like paintings and different stuff that they have, like really, really, really ancient artwork and stuff in there. And they don't want anyone to know that, because they don't want anyone to like try to go up there and destroy it. So that is my story with that. And so it was like completely like verifiable, like stuff that I just experienced and have no explanation for, but I just like say it without really thinking about it. And then it has been like verified, you know? Super cool. Super weird experiences, but also super cool. And one more silly one that just popped in my head. One time in in junior high school, I'm only saying this because it's Halloween. I've never thought this before. Where I would think, oh my gosh, like where I lived growing up in Missouri, there were a lot of these spiders called brown recluses. And I thought, like, they were around, but whatever. I never saw one like in my bed before, you know? And then one night, as I was getting ready to go to bed, all of a sudden I thought, I should check inside of my pillowcase, because I wonder if there could be like a spider in there, a brown recluse spider, and they're poisonous, and if they bite you, it like rots your skin out, or so it would like makes a hole in your skin, and it's just like a mess. You know, it's like a black widow, but maybe not as bad, but still it's like a mess, right? And I thought I should check my pillowcase in case there could be like a brown recluse spider in there. Such a random thought, like doesn't make any sense at all, and I never thought that before. I'm just like, I'm insane, you're crazy. I'm like, whatever, I'm just gonna check, you know? So I open my pillowcase, I pop a thing open, and on my pillow, right where I was gonna lay my head, was a big brown recluse spider on the front of my pillow. So I was like, oh my gosh, you know, and I guess I killed it and everything, but it was more that it was just the craziest thing ever. I never thought that before, and lo and behold, there one was. So, unexplained. Can't explain it, but definitely happened. And so when those things happen, you're like, wow, that doesn't make any sense. And so it's like I've never ever had that thought since. I never had that thought before that I can remember. I've never had that thought since. So I just wanted to like say that sometimes, you know, you have these like unexplained things that happen, and you know, it really points to that there's a lot more going on than just meets the eye, you know? Not to say that it's ghosts, but that just maybe this reality may not be what we think it is to begin with, you know? And I found that really, really interesting. So I hope you do too. So otherwise, this is a boring story, but this is my paranormal story time video. And I think that, you know, this is just the things that are just on top of my head. And like literally like a 2-minute like search of my, not even a 2-minute, like literally like a 20-second search of my brain, like which ones should I tell? I should do this. And these are you know, what popped into my head. So there's probably more that have happened to me, but these are probably like the ones that just stick out and maybe were like the most profound experiences. Is profound the right word? I don't know if it is, but forgive me if it's not. But you know what I'm saying, like the ones that impacted me the most, you know? But that is it. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to be filming Slender the Arrival later on tonight. So I'll be wearing the same outfit. But I just thought it would be fun to just film this right now while I was thinking about it, because, you know, it does go with the paranormal, you know, thing. and if you've had paranormal like dreams or like psychic dreams or sensed energies in a place and later found out like it was like something, you know, like verified to be true, let me know. Let me know in the comments if you're psychic or if you're not, or whatever, if you like to hear content like this, because apparently I guess I have a lot of weird stories like this that I didn't even know, but I mean, they're all true, swear to God. So, you know, I wouldn't lie about stuff like this. That'd be silly. So that is it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video.